Hey, shalom everyone. This is Chris Shoemaker, also known as Yehuda ben Shomer, and welcome to the Daily Drosh. I'm going to quote a very familiar passage from Proverbs. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not unto your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. You know, sometimes we live in this world and we just go about our daily lives and our daily routine, not even thinking twice that we have a Heavenly Father that's looking out for us, that is there for us whenever we run into problems or conundrums or just things we don't know, don't understand, situations where we don't know what to do, and we just approach it with our regular human logic and not even bring anything spiritual into the equation. And this reminds me of Joshua chapter 9, where the Canaanite nation of the Hivites were so terrified of being annihilated by the Israelites because they heard of what happened to Jericho and Ai and the giant kings of Bashan and Heshbon. And so they decided to pull the wool over the Israelites' eyes and create this ruse that they were people from a very far distant land, and they really played this up where they got worn out shoes and worn out clothes, dry, crusty, molded bread. Wineskins that were old and cracked to make it appear as if they've been on a long, arduous journey. And they said, please make this peace treaty with us. And in Joshua chapter 9, verses 14 and 15, I'm going to be reading from the Living Bible paraphrase. It says, Joshua and the other leaders finally believed them. They did not bother to ask the Lord, but went ahead and signed a peace treaty, and the leaders of Israel ratified the agreement with a binding oath. Now, God had already commanded the Israelites to wipe out all 7 Canaanite nations, including the Hivites that just deceived them. And because they made this peace treaty with them, they couldn't go back on their word. So they couldn't annihilate the Hivites, but they could subject them to forced labor and slavery, which is exactly what they did. But they would have never had this problem if they would have consulted the Lord. The Lord would have revealed, hey, these guys are your neighbors. They're just nearby. They're just trying to fool you. They're just trying to scam you because they're in fear for their life. So they didn't consult the Lord. So this makes me think, how many problems do we bring upon ourselves, no matter how simplistic we think the situation or problem is? How many problems we bring upon ourselves because we don't ask the Lord, hey, God, what's up with this situation? God, what should I do in this situation? Lord, what is your will concerning this matter? And we just make the decision that's best to our logical mind. But remember what the proverb says. It says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not into your own understanding. There's a passage in Jeremiah where it says the heart is the most deceitful thing about us. Who can figure it out? Who can know it? So we can't trust our heart. We can't, and that's the phrase, the catchphrase of the world is, oh, trust your heart, go with your heart, follow your heart. No, it's deceptive. And Proverbs says, don't do it. Don't lean to your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge him, God the Father, and he will direct your path. Other translation says he will make your path straight. So if there is a pitfall, if there is a deception or a ruse or a plan against you, no matter how routine or simple the matter may appear that you're trying to figure out and solve, we should bring everything before the Lord. Everything that all decisions that we have to make, we should bring it before the Lord, because he should be first in everything, because he will never lead us astray. He will make our path straight. He will make us successful when we listen and submit and obey him. Guys, thanks so much for listening. Talk to you later. Shalom. Shavua Tov.
Hey, want something to talk about? Go to my YouTube channel, Raybash Katan, and look for the playlist, Raybash's Ramblings. There, I ramble on about things that are important to the spiritual community.